representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
You condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
She said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
You condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
She said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
Hello and welcome to Atlantic Television Network's Open Conversation, which is the network flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actors to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. Today on Open Conversation, we take off from Imo State. International observers urge INEC to review irregularities. Ebonyi State, I have no regrets knowing, trusting Wifuru for 16 years. This is coming from Omahe. In opposition party merger, PDP's 16 years brigandage, impunity, profligacy remain unforgettable. That's coming from ABC. On inter-party opposition, Labour Party leadership wants members obedient movement against attack on Abure. In Plateau State, Rep. Gadgi warned PDP against dragging him into party crisis. In Kogi State, Observer Group says November 11 elections adhered to electoral laws. On 2023 governorship election, Kano Plateau State Appeal Court judgment possible outcome. In Plateau State, we won't allow some faceless persons to ridicule Jonah Jang. It's coming from the PDP. Our guest on the show is a security expert, a politician par excellence, but he's speaking to us today as a socio-political analyst, and that's none other than Mr. Jackson Lekan Ojo. Take a short break and we'll come back. We'll get you to meet him and officially take off with open conversation. But remember that if you need to run, you don't want to be on TV right now, you can also always watch us online on the virtually from on our website. We're AtlanticTelevisionNetwork.tv. You can also watch us live by downloading the app if you don't have that already, and that's ATN Live from the App Store. Or you can do well to watch on Facebook and YouTube, and that's Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back to you after the break.
There are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
people into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Welcome back to Atlantic Television Network Open Conversation. Right now, we're going to welcome our guest, Mr. Jackson Lekan Ojo. Good to have you on Open Conversation today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get on with the show, if you may. A foreign observer group called Pan-African Women Project has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to review the governorship election in Imo State over irregularities and results tallying as shown in the portal. Head of Mission for Pan-African Women Projects, Dr. Mrs. Eno Udensi, alleged that the elections were not held at many polling units within the state, expressed dismay at the violence that was recorded during the conduct of the governorship election in the state, while calling on the new leadership of the Nigerian police force to address the grey areas of security lapses at the election and make corrections towards the subsequent elections in Nigeria. The group also said at the election we observed irregularities in the tallied results as shown in the portal, stating that there were polling units where elections did not hold for irregularities and considered the recommendations and suggestions in the report for subsequent credibility in future elections to be conducted, adding that the Beavers is one of the landmark introductions by INEC into the election process in Nigeria. Now, INEC did say when you talk about the irregularities on the IREF portal, INEC came out to say, hey, the thing is when you upload results from the Beavers, there may be some delay. And that delay consequently means that if care is not taken, what you're seeing in the Beavers at that time may not be the accurate result. However, I don't know how long it's supposed to take. Then he gave instance, the spokesperson gave instance of sometimes when you send an SMS, it doesn't deliver immediately. So it means that, okay, network could be the result. Well, if you look at that excuse and this report by this international women organization asking for accountability, which is what most people have been asking for, do you think INEC, as it is in the present, has what it takes to provide proper accountability? Osita Chidoka yesterday also said, show us the total number of what is in the Beavers, since the IREF cannot be used to account for the actual number of votes collected during the elections. Do you think INEC can provide such stewardship to the Nigerian people?
It's unfortunate that I love this television station. If not because of this kind of topic, I wouldn't want to come and discuss.
Why?
Good. I am not expecting positive.
Okay.
From my neck. The day of that election, I posted something on my WhatsApp status. I said, if my neck do the right thing today, I'll be disappointed. The kind of excuses they are giving now. Are you telling me now there are times maybe I transfer money to somebody through my bank and other things? The money may not be delivered until after 2 or 3 days. But the exact amount I transferred is the exact amount to delivered. If you send text message to somebody, if it is 4-line paragraph, it may not be delivered immediately, but whenever it's going to be delivered, it won't remove anyone. It will be delivered. So if it is that same technology of transfer that we are talking about now, I never know that computer is a system whereby you send information and it will distort the information, reduce the information, or add to the information before delivery. No. So to me, INEC, they don't know what to say again. They don't know which lie to tell again, which lie not to tell again. You understand? And something is in our system that is running. This slogan of immediately whatever INEC announce, go to court. I think there is a particular thing in the Electoral Act that says before the result of an election is released, announced to the public, INEC should have sit down and review the outcome of that election before they announced. But it is not like that here. They just wake up and release the result. And if you are not satisfied, go to court. And that is why most of the electoral victories in Nigeria today are given by the court of law, which is not ordinarily not supposed to be like that. So the international observer that I've observed, yeah, they have done a great job, but whatever is their evaluation, whatever is their report, hold no water in Nigeria. It has nothing to do with our electoral system. It is not going to make them change. Immediately, the INEC chairman give order, release the result. If you are not satisfied, go to court. So I think what they should do in Imo State is go to court. And when they go to court, I don't know, they may be lucky. But that lucky is very, very scarce. Yes.
All right, now speaking of the impact of the 2023 elections, both the general elections and the off-season elections to the 2027 or 2024 election in Ondo State as it is, without proper stewardship or accountability, the responsibility being taken by INEC, what should any Nigeria, whether as a political member or as a candidate in looking for 2027, bother with going into the elections, if this is what elections in Nigeria is looking like right now?
If anybody is sitting down somewhere and I believe that the election in Ondo State 2024 is going to be something better than what we experienced in the past and in the present, I think the person is daydreaming. You cannot have the same system, the same operator running the system, and you expect a different result. The operators of our electoral system, they remain the same. On another platform, I think I raised an issue. If you want improvement in our electoral system, the handlers, the operators, the principal officers, they are not supposed to be appointed by the executive in office. Another way should be there for us to engage those people that were under our electoral system. There is no way I can pay the piper and you are telling me not to dictate the tune. Emotional sympathy will come in, and at times pecuniary sympathies will rear his head in. So to me, what happened in the Austin election in Bayelsa, Kogi, and Imo, there was than what we had around January, February or so this year. So to me, it will aggravate. What we should be expecting in those states should be worse than the present. So it will continue until we change the way the principal officers, the operators emerges. If they still emerge from the same direction and the system still remain, the operators still remain, there won't be any change at all.
Now, the 10th Senate was in Akwa Ibom State recently, and in one of the outcome of that conference they had is a talk, the communique, one of the agenda is that they are planning to unbundle INEC. And they also talked about ensuring diaspora voting. But let's talk about unbundling INEC, since they are the core of the conversation on this issue. How do you think unbundling INEC can better give us quality elections when it comes to 2027 or 2024, if you may?
Unbundling INEC. Are they going to Australia to bring operators, or China, or India, or the US, UK? There is nothing. And when the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with due respect, I have a lot of them a lot of the senators as my friends, but I'm not talking to the person of the senators now. I'm talking about the system. Whatever we are complaining now today, most of them in the Senate today, they enjoy this our complaint. What we are complaining about, they enjoy for them to get to the Senate. And they are still going to contest more and more and more and more again. They don't want, most of them in the Senate, they don't want an improved system. So because an improved system will not favor them in one way or the other. So they can come out and tell them they are going to unbundle this, they are going to do it. Sometimes they go, some people come out and say we are going to probe the NDDC, forensic audit, whatever. Where are they today? There is nothing the 10th Senate will promise Nigerians that Nigerians to take very seriously at all. So to me, it is easy to say it on the floor of the Senate, or they address the press to tell Nigerians, let us wait until they will do it. Let us see the way they are going to do it. So to me, I don't think Nigerians should be hopeful.
All right.
If Nigerians are hopeful, it's more hopeful, most hopeless. At the end of the day, nothing positive will come out from that direction.
All right, thank you.
I made bold to say that.
Okay. The former Ebonyi State Governor and now Minister of Works, David Umahi, clears the air on the possibility of fight with his successor, now Governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Wifuru. Umahi, who spoke during a reception in Abakaliki organized by Wifuru in honor of his former principal, said, "I have no regrets knowing and trusting him for 16 years, as only few persons present can boast of relationship that lasts for such periods. The most beautiful thing is that Wifuru knows everything we did, as there was nothing such as projects that did not pass through him. Anyone who prays not to reap where he sows should keep such prayer. I will not apologize to those who feel offended by my actions again, because I have done so while living off all my mistakes and successes have been inherited by Wifuru, as we made friends and enemies together. I urge everyone to be patient with the governor because he has good intentions to develop this state." Recall that reports had it that some of Umahi's loyalists who ensured Wifuru's emergence are being marginalized. The alleged marginalization is believed to be causing a rift within Umahi and Wifuru's camp. However, Umahi said he had no regrets at risking his life and fighting for Wifuru's emergence as governor. All right, this is another governor and the prodigy seeming battle, but Umahi seemed to have being a bit proactive about it by coming to say, hey, there are no issues, you know, trying to cement that probably so it doesn't turn sour, like what we witnessed between the Wike and the Siminalayi Fubara. However, when it comes to issues like this, pretending about it, from your experience as a politician now, do you think that he's going about it the best way? Because there are people in his camp who also saw to the emergence of Wifu who are complaining of being marginalized, and he's saying be patient to them and covering up that there are no issues. Is he handling this right?
I want to say kudos to Umai. I think this is the second former governor that I would say I respect most in the political history of Nigeria has to do with 1999 date. The first former governor I respect most is the present Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Kasim Shettima. The present governor of Borno State served Shettima as commissioner, and Shettima saw what he did. Professor Zulum was then never a politician, was not a politician at all. But when Kasim Shettima was leaving office, he saw that this guy would take the state to a greater height better than he did. And actually, he wanted somebody that could improve on his efforts in office. And there was a time even when he became the vice president, he was addressing the governor. He said, my leader. And the press, the journalists asked, you have governed that state twice, you are now a senator, and vice president candidate elect. You are still calling him your leader? He said, yes. He said, when he was in the shadow, he was the leader as the governor. What qualified him that time to be the leader was because he was the governor. Now, that Professor Zulu is now the governor. That is maturity of a man. What David Umahi is saying here, I think, is another. To be candid, I never loved the person of David Umahi. But that does not mean that I will not give credit to him for his achievement in that state. And now that he has seen somebody that know that this guy knew almost everything they did together, and this guy will not deviate from it. To me, there is no problem going on between them. The people that want to cause problem now, unnecessarily, they are those people that worked under Umahi and they supported the campaign project whereby the governor emerged. And are you telling me appointment in Nigeria today must continue to be political patronage? No. Nigerian leaders today, they are forgetting about meritocracy, but they believe in what I call compensatocracy. Government in which whereby you compensate, not you appoint people by merit. Are we saying that every one of them that work with Umahi, the new governor, must inherit all of them? He has no plan of his own. He has no political associate of his own. He has no friends. He has no relations. He has nobody that he know that these people could do better, work better with him. The former president of America, Andrew Jackson, said, he said, I believe in merit, but I will merit my friend more than my enemy. So are we telling now that this guy in Wifu do not have political friends, political associates? He do not have those people that work together with him too? political and administrative maturity. And that is why the situation degenerated to what we are, what we have today, and where we are today in Rivers politics. Today in Rivers State, I doubt if we have the legislative arms of government in place. So, to me, the governor here has been so humble. Even recently in legal week, or what do they call it? The way he welcomed the governor, what came out of his mouth shows higher level of humility and respect. But a day later, I think in a book launch somewhere, we could all listen to the vituperation thrown by former governor Rivers State, the now present FCT minister. So to me, the two of them, Umari and Yezowikeme, might have achieved a lot when you talk of infrastructural development. But do they have administrative mentality equally? Do they have political exposure equally? Do they have moral? Do they operate on the same level of morality? No. These are two persons.
I'd like to take a quick trip back to the inception of the WIF government, where the first allegation that was flung that would have torn him and Umahi apart was the fact that he sacked some aides who were he inherited from Umahi, unlike the governor of Rivers State. At that point, a lot of persons expected that would have been the first jab, disrespect maybe to Umahi. Umahi never reacted, nothing untoward was heard from Umahi at all. And this is the second time to something of a bit of a fracas is playing out between them, and the issue there here is he's saying, from his statement, one could deduce that he's putting the state first before personal interest. But when he said, "Wifuru worked with me, all the projects we did, they came through him. I have no regrets and owe nobody an apology for taking that decision." It seemed like he's more interested in the welfare of the state than personal interest of his political associates. If you look at that and reverse the role to say, this is what this person did, if Fubara had done anything close to what Wifuru did, do you think that we'll be having this kind of conversation we're having right now between him and former Governor Yeson Wike?
You have said it now, that Wifuru sacked some of the aides inherited from his former boss.
Yeah, that was the first issue that came out when he assumed office.
How did Umahi take it?
I can't remember why he's saying anything.
Umahi never moved the House of Assembly against him. Umahi never moved the Ebonyi PDP against him as a party. Umahi never set up some guys against him. You understand? That is maturity.
So you believe...
Let me tell you something. My immediate elder sister, two of the children were living with me. One now is a big boy in America. The senior one is a girl. That one misbehaved. I woke up early in the morning. I did not call my sister. I don't give that one money. Go back home. Go back home. When she got back home, my sister said, "Where is your brother?" I said, "He's still there." He said, "You have done something wrong. I won't need to call my brother." That you see the maturity there. It was me later that I called my sister, that auntie. And this girl got to me and said, "Yes. Why didn't you call me?" He said, "No, I know she must have done something wrong. That was the reason why you sent her back." So Dave Umahi knows that possibly those people must have done something wrong. And if they continue to remain in the system, it could be inimical to the success that will be recorded by Wifuru. And at the end of the day, if Wifuru did not have achieved that success, what happened? To the detriment of the people of Ebonyi State. So instead of that thing to go to that extent, let them withdraw. At the end of the day, those guys can still be given little contract that will keep them going.
But not to have them in the government.
No, favoritism at the detriment of the state, inimical to the growth and development of the state. No, it's nonsensical.
So would you say between the
but it could not happen like that. The governor of River State inherited ADC, CSO, almost all the commissioner, SSG, all delay, possibly the cleaner and the cook at the government house. And the governor did not sack anyone. There's something happened internally. And the governor said, no, enough is enough. And somebody was calling for his head. It should be removed. Yes, sir.
So what is the interest in the fight between, because we are trying to analyze these two situations.
In Ebonyi now, what is happening is that both Nwifiru and Umahi, I think they have the interest of the state to protect in their heart. But in River State, I don't think the interest of the state is there. It's interest of few individuals. So you can do anything for anything to go wrong in the state. So far you can satisfy one or two persons.
So the state can burn.
Even in what I call militocratic system, it's not even supposed to happen. That is it. So what you are saying in Ebonyi State now is display of maturity and love of the people of Ebonyi State by the past operator, Umahi, and the present operator, Nwifiru.
You think that was absent in the issues that played out in River State?
There is two opposite directions. The two cannot go the same direction. I could see a lot of maturity. I could see a lot of love. I could see a lot of protecting the interests of the state in the Ebonyi State. I could not see any of this in what happened in River State. I made bold to say that.
All right, thank you. The ruling All Progressive Congress on Wednesday mocks the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, saying he was still struggling to come to terms with reality after his loss at the presidential poll. Recall that Atiku had called for merger of opposition political parties. Opposition to merge against the APC was made by the PDP presidential candidate when he hosted the National Executive Committee on the Inter-Party Advisory Council in Abuja. The APC, in a statement titled Atiku APC Strengthening Democracy, Not Stifling It, through the spokesperson Felix Morka, said it is painful that a statesman of Atiku's standing would so easily conflate the wider acceptance of our great party among Nigerians with his irrational fear of one-party dictatorship. Perhaps the Tarakin of Adamawa State needs to be reminded that Nigerians are highly percipient and can't differentiate between political deviance of the PDP and demonstrable commitment of the APC to deepening democracy and fostering our common good. Before its epic defeat in 2015, the PDP proclaimed and flaunted its plan to rule Nigeria for a minimum of 60 years at that time. Atiku was willfully blind to fear of a PDP one-party dictatorship, but now appears to be under the influence of a distorted vision inflicted by the debilitating serial trouncing of his party at the polls. The PDP's brigandage, impunity, and profligacy of 16 years remain unforgettable. In its brief period at the helm, the APC has implemented far-reaching reform of the Electoral Act and introduced technological innovations, including the bimodal voters accreditation system and the INEC results viewing portal, all aimed at improving electoral transparency and deepening our democracy. The PDP's flagrant disregard for due process, another of its bane, is the reason the party fielded its National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, as governorship candidate in Imo State in the just concluded offices in the gubernatorial election. So he said, we urge Atiku to concentrate on repairing his damaged political psyche and attempt to revive his comatose PDP and leave APC out of their combined predicament. However, we welcome the former Vice President charged to opposition political parties to rally together to engage in opposition politics. Again, Atiku is being taken to the streets for doing what normally the average politician would do. Let's have a formidable opposition so we can fight to ensure the APC would do or wouldn't do what they're supposed to do. Depends on that way. But I understand why every time people pick up an article, made a statement to the Interparty Advisory Council, who paid him a courtesy visit, and he made a statement. Now, Felix Morka picks up on that and begins to go through the PDP, how this happened and how this happened. Why is APC, who is speaking through their spokesperson, why are they scared of opposition?
Oh, you see, Atiku is making this statement or this advice or whatever at a very wrong time.
Okay.
At a very wrong time, because when I listened to this before election, when I saw what was going on in PDP, at a particular time I said, hope the APC have not sponsored Atiku aides, the handlers, as their eavesdroppers, because there are a lot of things that were going on that time in PDP that with the level of Atiku involvement in politics in Nigeria, Atiku should know that time that this, what is going on is, that at that time was very, very wrong. Sometimes ago, 5 governors of PDP left PDP, and it led to the victory of APC when they fed them as former president Muhammadu Buhari. And this time around too, 5 governors too, they gang against the party, and they were demanding for something. And what they were demanding for was not too ambiguous. Because I remember on a particular television channel where somebody asked, if you as the national chairman of the party, you are going to the field now, if another man emerges as senatorial presidential candidate, what happens? Can you people manage both the national chairman and the presidential candidate from the northern Nigeria? The national chairman that time, what's the name? I forgot his name very fast.
Adamu.
Ayu.
Okay. During the campaigns.
Yes. He said something openly. He said immediately that a northern aspirant emerged as the candidate of the party. He said, I will resign my office. And that was exactly what Mr. Wike and his cohorts, they call themselves G5. That they are now today, they are now G1. So that was their demand. And that demand was not too ambiguous as far as I'm concerned. But if there was any reason at all that Atiku wanted Ayu to remain, Atiku that time would have called Wike and his gang and settled with them. Maybe what we are seeing today, what we are experiencing today, maybe first subsidy will still be in place. Because if Wike, let me give Wike that credit, if Wike had remained in PDP and support Atiku presidential ambition, which is G4, G5, today Tinubu would have been president of Nigeria. I may bold to say that. So Atiku saw all those things that time. He did not call them to order. Peter Obi was in the PDP. When he left the party, it was not wrong for Atiku to quickly meet him anywhere in the world to talk to him, my brother. We have to remain in this party. And assuming Peter Obi will remain in the party that time, and they now made him the vice presidential candidate, today PDP would have been in power. Atiku did not see all this. Now, it's now coming as the political advisor of the, what do they call them? Interparty something. It's now coming as their political advisor, advising them on what to do against 2027. So to me, it's laughable because I see that Atiku is kind of building a fresh structure now, waiting for 2027.
Now,
that's exactly what he's doing now. It's not that Atiku is now a born-again Democrat that want to bring all the political parties together.
Now, let us assume that he's building towards 2027.
Yes.
His primary base is the PDP.
Yes.
After his Supreme Court ruling speech, he made and said he's not going away, he's still around. A lot of people connotate that to mean that he is still interested in the presidency.
Yes.
2027.
Yes.
Having said that, one would expect that his primary focus would be building back the PDP, because as soon as he finished making that statement, thereafter also, the PDP governors came out during the Wike and similar as a issue and pledged loyalty to Tinubu in public, in public, and that wasn't hidden at all. Now, after that, instead of talking, a lot of us are wondering, instead of talking about opposition merger right now, shouldn't a party national leader begin to think about how to build the party back before you talk about merger? I mean, taking it from the opposition angle right now.
You got it a bit wrong.
Okay.
Maybe because I know in the political field,
okay,
or political involvement, you don't have much political involvement.
Okay.
If somebody say he should go and rebuild PDP today, that means he has to bring Rotimi Amechi back to PDP. He has to bring Akpabio back to PDP. He has to bring Dave Umahi back to PDP. All these people that left PDP, he had to bring all of them back.
What about, okay, Wike is still in PDP.
Yeah, Wike is on the fence.
Shouldn't that be a good place to start?
No.
I mean, there's not, what is there? What are they fighting for right now?
Wike, to approach Wike, you don't start from Wike. Because if you obnob so much with Wike now, Wike obnob so much with the opposition now,
okay,
he may lose his employment. There's no political maturity of any leader today. Today, I want to tell you that Wike must have apologized to the president for him not to join PDP campaign, APC campaign. Today, Wike's allegiance is to APC.
Not to the PDP.
Not to the PDP.
So you don't think there's a need for him to rebuild the party?
If Wike want to rebuild the party now.
No, I'm talking about Atiku.
Okay, if Atiku want to rebuild the party, he should leave Wike first.
Okay.
Because by the time Wike begin to attend their meeting, national meeting and others now, he will lose his job as the FCC minister. And most of his supporters that got appointment in several areas will lose their job. So for now, we must be doing PDP from the inside, but from the outside, and actions must be APC. So to me, there are a lot of people that left PDP. Like I mentioned, somebody like from president and president. Okay. Bring him back to PDP.
So without these key players, you don't see a future in the PDP?
Without the key players, where do you have the padlock? Let me use that language. Players. All these key players in their respective domain, they control the party. If you bring Akpabio today back to PDP, Akwa Ibom State will be 100% PDP.
So in essence, you think if Atiku is thinking of a future for 2027, it has to be with inter-party merger?
It's not inter-party merger because I don't know what are we calling inter-party?
No, he's calling for
today in Nigeria.
SDP, Labour Party,
today
and all of
in Nigeria, I believe only in PDP and APC. I don't believe in Labour Party.
Okay.
Who are the people in the Labour Party?
All right.
I believe in obedience. I believe in obedience more than Labour Party.
Okay, hold that thought.
Yes.
We'll take a break because when we come back, we're going to talk about intra-party opposition within the Labour Party, and then we can bring this thought to bear. Stay with us, everyone. We'll come back to you after the break.
54 Empire Entertainment, in collaboration with River State Television, presents International Legendary Grand Award 2023. Theme: The Distinguished Conference and Academic Beauty Queen Nigeria 2023, Season 5, The Beaut Elect Project, the #1 educational project contest nationwide. Performing Original Stereo Man, GYC, MC Mumu, Odogu Vibes, etc. Host Lady Chinyere Nwabweze, Nollywood star actress, and Emeka Okoye, Nollywood actor, and other special guests of honor. Date: 19th November 2023. Venue: Silver Blaze Garden and Hotels, 39 Eze Baka Baka Avenue, Woji Road, Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria. Time: green carpet, 4 p.m. Main event, 5 p.m. Tickets: regular, 2,000 naira. VIP, 5,000 naira. Table for 5, 50,000 naira. Gold table, 300,000 naira. Diamond, 1 million naira. For more information, partnerships and sponsorships, please call 0813-359-3563 or 0906-047-4445. You can also email us at 54ckempire@gmail.com. Powered by 54 Empire Entertainment, Eloquent Suite, River State Television, Silver Blaze Garden and Hotels, Wish 99.5 FM, Atlantic Television Network, AIT, and 8 Ball Play Lounge, etc.
Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence
condemn this act and for immediate release this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
The 60,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sides on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are cowards of where we are.
I could have you back on Atlantic Television Network Open Conversation now. Let's talk about inter-party opposition. The Labour Party on Wednesday says it will no longer tolerate destructive criticism of its national chairman Julius Abure, whether from its members or supporters of the big movement. Now recall that a petition had gone viral jointly signed by a Labour Party elder Diokma Ajufo, member of Obedient Movement Zariyi Yusuf, among others, who wrote to the presidential candidate of Labour Party Peter Obi and members of the National Working Committee over damning revelations of Labour Party Atwa youth leader Ansem Eragbe about a heavily compromised and transact party under Abure and the recent allegation by Labour Party governorship candidate in Bayelsa State, Comrade Udense Radri, that the party excos sabotaged his chances by collecting gratification from Governor Doyediri. Reacting to this on Wednesday, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Obiorifo, said it is natural that after every electoral contest, a few individuals may be disgruntled or aggrieved, and as such, the party leadership may be exposed to all forms of criticism by both members and non-members alike. But we advise that such criticism must be tailored to aid growth and development in the party and not necessarily to be destructive. The party has had its fair share of inter-crises, and we think that members should desist from escalating further crises. Being new joiners and not knowing the culture of the party, some of them just a few months old in the party, of course, that is what you get when ignorance and overzealousness overwhelm your reasoning. Most of those who authored the statement did not even win their unity, let alone win their local government and state. It is on record that most members of the National Working Committee of the party delivered their unit and their state. Barrister Julius Abure, for instance, got 79% in the Dot state, thereby denying other political parties the opportunity to score the required 25% in the state. As we look at the authors of the statement, we'll also review their ignorance and the workings of the party Constitution, Electoral Act, and the 1999 Constitution as amended. Okay. So, obedience and some supporters of Peter Obi and the chopping board. What do you discover that in this statement, Obiora Ifo, yes, they are attacking they are saying that Abure must go and all of that. But he didn't actually address the two core issues raised by one of the youth leader, Anselm, and the Udense Radri, talking about how the party at the state level sold out to Doyediri and other transactional politics that the former youth leader accused knew that obedience made Labour Party what it is in 2023. The election wasn't just about Peter Obi, it was about the obedient movement. If these individuals have issues with the national leader, what they have just done right now, is this the best way to address it?
Well, several times on the platform and other platforms out there, I've been saying here, I don't believe in Labour Party. Labour Party became a force that Nigerians reckon with pre-2023 presidential election because of the movement called the Obedience. I made bold to tell the world today that if Obi has decamped from PDP to a court party, that Obedience would have been so popular like it was. If Obi had decamped from PDP to ADC or AA, Action Alliance, Obi's popularity was what Labour Party enjoyed. And you saw a lot of persons rushing to join Labour Party. They became National Working Committee members of Labour Party, believing that this Obedient was going to erode all other political parties away and would be the one that will win the presidential election. Now, it failed because that was an assumption. It failed. And now, they can There's nothing like obedience as far as today is concerned in Nigeria. Because obedience was not a registered political party. The Labour Party now, they know there is no figure within the Labour Party that will continue to throw the money away. Some people that were throwing money yesterday in Labour Party, they were doing it because of their belief in Peter Obi himself. And now that Peter Obi is no longer in the shadow, there's nobody that wants to be throwing money to the Labour Party. And what else? Each of them are just capturing little offices they have to go and put it for sale to the highest bidder in the APC and PDP because of the off-season elections. By the time election of, though that one, it has ended now anyway, because the off-season election that will be coming up in Ondo and later Osun, Labour Party have no presence in Osun State, they have no presence in Ondo State. So there won't be patronage. There won't be political patronage. So everything that has to do with Labour Party in the next few months, it is ended. And I want to make bold to tell you that if Peter Obi want to still run for the presidency of this country 2027, Peter Obi will not run on the platform of Labour Party. Because he know that these people they are just trading with his name. Without Peter Obi, Labour Party wouldn't be recognized. But a lot of them use it to make a lot of money. There are two factions of Labour Party that travel to, before election, that travel to Bayelsa State. Abura faction traveled there to go and solicit support for one gubernatorial candidate. What's the name? Apapa faction too went there to go and dedicate their support and everything to another gubernatorial candidate. So, what are we talking about? They are just using that name now to trade. To me, there is nothing remaining in Labour Party. And the only person and the only thing that have given Labour Party name, popularity, was that movement called Obedient.
So now that the party national leadership have decided to, these people brought an issue to the fore. One would expect that they should sit in and then address the issue accordingly. Take responsibility, pass the blame where necessary. If this is anything to go by, if this whole Labour Party obedience marriage is anything to go by. But it took his time to trash them, how they didn't win their polling units, how they don't know, they are not reasonable, and all of that and all of that. Now, looking back, we are wondering, is this the same party that these people donated their money, sacrificed everything in support of Peter Obi to see that you have a face? And people were saying we now have a third force in this country. Is this the same party or is this a different party? And do you think that by this action they are working against Peter Obi or for Peter Obi in this case?
They are not working for Peter Obi again because Peter Obi is no longer in any race on the platform of that party. And I've said it before. I said, I don't believe in Labour Party. Labour Party is just like a rickety car. A park at the garage. People are calling passengers. No passenger is entering until a man with a very large family was coming, and when he got to the park, the only vehicle he saw was that rickety vehicle. And he parked all his family, parked them inside the rickety vehicle. That was like, Peter Obi brought all his political popularity. He brought it to Labour Party. And at the end of the day, Labour Party mismanaged it. Because even in River State, Labour Party was countering Labour Party during the gubernatorial elections. It happened in Lagos. It happened before gubernatorial election. Some Labour Party of your state, they were already paying allegiance and loyalty and solidarity to the present governor, Seyi Makinde. But they have not done the election and they have their own gubernatorial candidate there. So, to me, obedient was the heart, the liver and kidney of the Labour Party. And when you remove all this, Labour Party remain ordinary carcass. The few of them now in Labour Party, they are still gathering together to trade with the off-season elections and maybe state local government elections. We will see them very soon now. They will begin to regroup in order to pay their loyalty to the PDP leadership. And you will see more than 10 factions. So to me, Labour Party, I believe in obedience better than the Labour Party.
All right, we'll just leave it off there.
That person of Obi is more popular than the party.
All right, we'll just leave it off there. Honorable Yusuf Gadgi, member representing Pangshin, Kanke, Federal Constituency of Plateau State, through his media office sends warnings to the People's Democratic Party in the state to count the lawmaker out of its ongoing issues. The rep in a statement on Wednesday said, "We note with dismay attempts to drag the name of a principal, Right Honorable Yusuf Adamu Gadgi, into the political tsunami that has befallen their party in Plateau State. That desperation can lead to an unending search for scapegoats. This is understandable but would not be condoned." He said it is also a pity that their future efforts at blackmail and muckraking are now hinged on a catchphrase which our principal has used since 2015. We know whom they know, but they don't know whom we know. For the avoidance of doubt, the catchphrase is an affirmation of our principal's belief and trust in God as the giver of power to whom he pleases, no matter the earthly forces against such a person. He further warned the PDP and its supporters in Plateau State to desist from casting aspersions on the person and office of President of the Court of Appeal, as any effort to throw mud at her will be stoutly resisted by all well-meaning Nigerians. The issue with Honorable Rep Gadgi and his team and the Plateau State governorship election, Mutuang, they're all waiting for the result. We'll talk about that later on. But let's even assume that in the fray of arguments or counter-arguments, accusations or counter-accusations, when an aggrieved person raises an alarm over something, like what is going on in Plateau, everybody is a suspect because the court seems to be favoring the APC candidate, which is understanding that people are going to read meaning into this. Now, Gadgi's media office is saying, please don't bring us into all of that fray. Take care of your issues, PDP. I'd like to have your reaction to this.
I think PDP should not blame Honorable Gadgi. On this matter, I have personally called Honorable Gadgi to discuss with him on this matter. And Honorable Gadgi is not a person that should be blamed. If there's anybody that PDP should blame in this matter, they should go and blame the judiciary. Honorable Gadgi did not do anything to them. It's the judiciary that said 7 of their members in this House of Reps and Senate have been removed. And for what? They said there was no party primary. The convention that brought about the party primary was against the law. And it is not happening for the first time. It happened in Zamfara State, 2019. One of my friends who is representing Zamfara Central now was one of those people that won election then as a senator. I have gone to him to congratulate with him, and the day I was turning back was the day the court nullified all the PDP candidate in that state. So what are we talking about? People like Senator, very powerful Senator Kabiru Marafa that time, they were all gone. Nobody blame it on any political player. They blame it on the judiciary, and the judiciary blame it on them that have been issue. You people did not do the right thing. I think that is the same thing now that is killing PDP in Plateau. And they are afraid now because the same convention that brought about the primary of those 7 members of the National Assembly was the same convention that brought about the 16 member of Assembly governor. That is why they are afraid. Why should they go and blame it on Gagi? So it's not necessary.
Okay.
If I am one of those people, I wouldn't even want the media office of Gagi to respond to these people. Let them nurse their wound and need jury.
All right, let's take a quick
Maybe
run.
2027 they will know how to do it better.
All right, let's take a quick run at the ongoing issue that if the case of Court of Appeal rulings we're expecting this week, and that's the Court of Appeal on Kano and Plateau State gubernatorial election dispute judgment that is expected to be delivered. They were expected to deliver the judgment before the end of this week. Now, as anxious political gladiators and residents await the rulings, you recall that Kano State New Nigeria People's Party candidate and now Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf had been sacked by the Election Petitions Tribunal and ordered Nasir Yusuf Gabuna of the All Progressive Congress to be sworn in instead. However, Governor Yusuf approached the Court of Appeal for redress. In Plateau State, the tribunal had upheld the elections of Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang of the People's Democratic Party, the sacking of all the lawmakers elected on his party platform by the appellate court for the heightened tension in the state, or the possibility of the governor surviving the expected outcome. Well, Kano and Plateau States, everyone knows, have had a recurring ethnic, religious, and political crisis over the years, and this is a major cause for concern. We know what the Kwankwasia movement, how angry they got with the tribunal ruling then, and even the judge became emotional and, said things that probably he wouldn't have said on a good day and all of that. And of course, if you also look at the issue of that Kano State, I've been saying it severally, how can one explain why is Kabir Yusuf, for instance, being blamed for INEC's inadequacies? It was INEC who declared him winner. It was INEC that conducted the election. The mistake of the 165,653 votes is that of INEC, is not that of Abba Kabir Yusuf. So now he's been sacked because of an error that INEC made, which is not his. All of these, people are waiting with palpitate, like what is going to happen in Kano State, what's going to happen in a Plateau State, what is it if the judgment goes for or against, what is going to be the outcome? Let's just have you hazard a guess. What do you think at the end of this week, any moment from now, on these judgments?
It's unfortunate that no court anywhere in the world that rule based on emotions. If there is no emotional consideration from any court, and there won't be any emotional consideration concerning the bed, I want to, as a political prophet, I want to tell you that Abba Gida will carry the day.
That's for Plateau State.
For Kano State.
Sorry, Gawuna.
We call him Abba Gida.
Okay.
That's a popular name.
Okay.
A lot of persons in Kano do
So you think the government is going to go in his favor?
I want to believe, because I want to believe that the error made, the mistake made by the INEC that was counting on him, I believe the Court of Appeal will correct the anomalies.
No, but how do you explain that better? Let me even understand where you're going to with this now.
The vote we are talking about, who committed the error? Is it the party agent?
It's INEC.
It's INEC that committed the error.
Yes, because they were supposed to know that those votes were invalid.
Yes. So that was what the first tribunal ruled. But I want to tell you clearly, this time around, it won't be like that.
So you think the appeal is going to correct it?
The appeal will correct it, again. And Abba Gida will continue to be the governor of Kano State.
will take over from Yusuf.
Who is Yusuf?
Kabri Yusuf.
No, Abba Gida is the present governor.
Okay, that's
now.
the nickname.
That's the nickname.
Okay,
that is what everybody know him.
Okay, sorry about that. So you think that Kabri Yusuf
he will take over from himself.
Okay. So you don't see the APC using the court to overturn the judgment?
APC can never. I don't believe that party. I don't believe that APC has been using court to influence anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere.
Okay.
That is it. And I don't believe that APC know how to rig. If APC know how to rig, APC would have rigged the election.
Are you saying this because it's your party, or are you saying this because that is what the people out there think?
That is what I believe.
Okay.
Because if APC know how to rig, it would have rigged in Bayelsa. But we did not rig.
Let's not have that conversation.
Okay, good. So
Plateau State?
In Plateau State, I see the governor as a gunner.
You don't see
because
explain, yeah?
the issue that had knocked out about 7 members of the National Assembly, that same issue is the same issue that brought the governor there. It's the same convention. It's the same primary. A cookie pot for a lizard is also for a chameleon.
But isn't it interesting that this Plateau State issue that we are talking about now, are these not part of the cases that the same courts, at different points, said that they are pre-election matters and they don't want to entertain it? And now, because of pre-election matters, some people are leaving office by the same Nigerian courts.
I even saw a senator on the floor about 3 days ago that made reference to that. Why are you talking? You are talking like you are protecting the judiciary of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Judiciary in Nigeria is well low, according to my church. It is well low. But I want to tell you clearly, all those people that have even been moved from the National Assembly, what the electoral has said, anything that happened before election is a pre-election matter. It should be handled by the regular court, not by the judiciary, not by the tribunal. But you saw what they did there. Whosoever that must have conspired to do that, we still conspire to do this of governor too. But if they leave the governor, the tribunal must have shot themselves on the foot. And one way or the other, people will challenge it in the Supreme Court through the regular court.
Okay. We'll just leave
Yes.
We'll just look forward to the outcome and see how your prophecy pans out.
I'm a political prophet.
Okay.
But it's only political prophecy in Nigeria. May not work out. Because there are some people that will turn your prophecy. Yes.
And give it a different name altogether.
Yes, exactly.
Quite interesting there. So the People's Democratic Party, in reaction to a protest by a youth group under the aegis of PDP Youth Vanguard held on Tuesday in Jos Plateau State, insisting that Jonah Jang should be blamed partly for the current situation in the state's chapter of the party. The party publicity secretary John Akans, in an interview with News Agency of Nigeria on Wednesday in Jos, said after the demise of Chief Solomon La, the first executive governor of Plateau State, Jang assumed the position of the PDP leader. As governor of the state, Jang did so much for Plateau and its people. As governor, Jang did so much to protect the heritage of the people. He initiated and completed many projects. He is known for infrastructural development. For us in the PDP, Jang is a founding member of the party himself, and the late La were all members of the G34 that formed our party. I can insist that he is a life member of the board of trustees of our party, and so we won't allow some faceless persons to ridicule a man that has done so much for Plateau people. I can further say PDP is a well-coordinated and organized party. We don't have charlatans among us. We don't have such a group as a registered body in the PDP, and that is why they were covering their faces during the protest. So the protest is purely sponsored by the opposition party in the state, and we call on Plateau people to neglect them. Okay. the heat is on already. The anxiety seems to be playing out in different forms. Now, here is a group within the PDP accusing Jonah Jang of being responsible for the issues with the court rulings. I don't know the role you do. What role do you think Jonah Jang would have played to make the court dismiss them? Was it issue from the party primaries that has been that they are bringing up now to put the blame on him for?
To me, honesty lies the head that bear the crown. If you call yourself a leader, you should expect, because you have several opinions, different opinions under your leadership. So you should expect each and every one of them to react differently. And that is exactly what is happening now in Plateau State. But at the end of the ruling, did we make or mar the party chances in the future elections in a Plateau State? But I think, being the leader of the party, and he inherited that one from the late Chief Solomon Lam. I think he should see himself as the father figure and see every other person around him as his children. He should not be angry with any of them. He should call them together and settle them, and they can still be friendly and form a united, positive force, waiting for the next election. I wish them every best.
Now, from Kano State to Plateau State, the tension is high, like we said. The anxiety is eating up on everyone. Like you said, the Rabgadi's office should have even responded to that. We have the PDP and their inter-party crisis already, pushing out. But this statement made by Jonah Akant, talking about they are charlatans, we don't have such people in our party. And is it the same PDP we know that we talked about earlier today, or is it a different PDP? And again, is this the best way? Let's even assume that they are members of his party. Is this the best way to manage that situation, considering how anxious everybody seems to be right now?
It depends on individual differences. Within the rank and file of APC, PDP, Labour Party, whatever, we have different characters, and they talk differently, the way they feel, the way they like. And nobody calls anybody into question. There is a statement made by somebody in Bayelsa State that if there's anybody that stand against our chances here, throw them to the lagoon.
Okay.
You understand? And nothing happened to such a person. So that is it. So there are so many more incriminating statements made by people, and nobody talk in this climb. So that is it's within themselves.
All right, you're also a security expert. Look at these two states. Kano, we already talked about how volatile the infighting can be in that state. We know about the ethnic issues of fights in Plateau, just. If you look at this right now, if you're to advise security-wise, as we look forward to the appeal court judgment ruling, what would be your advice when it comes to managing security, even before the ruling for the agencies involved?
I think before that time, I'm not even the one to tell them. I think before that time, there will be large numbers of military and paramilitary security that will be on ground to curtail any of negative reactions toward the ruling of the court. Because Kano State, as it stands today, and Plateau State, there are two security flashpoints. But let me tell you, at the end of the day, they may be disappointing others. People expected that houses were going to be burnt in Kano and Kogi, in Bayelsa, in Imo. Nothing like that happened. So at the end of the day, people may take it as their fate, and nothing will happen. They will embrace themselves. Business will go as usual. I wish them every best. But I believe the President and Commander-in-Chief, through the Office of the National Security Advisor, IG and others, I don't think they are relaxing. They are not underrating or overlooking what will happen there. But I believe at the end of the day, nothing will happen.
All right, we say amen to that. I want to say thank you for always honoring us with your time and input on our show, Open Conversation. It's always an honor to have you,
It's
sir.
my pleasure.
Thank you. And that's been our show, everyone. If you miss any part of the conversation, not to worry. You can always catch up on Atlantic Television Network on YouTube and Facebook. Do well to watch us live on AtlanticTelevisionNetwork.tv and download the app if you don't have that already, ATN Live. And of course, you can also follow us on other social media platforms on X, we're Atlantic TV Net, on Instagram and TikTok, we're Atlantic TV Network 1. Remember, the peace and unity are the pathway to progress. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.